You name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they enter play here. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And right away, he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for him.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and, boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the #1 or #2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. On 2nd and 9, Goff. It was the linebacker, Devin White, there to knock it away. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Goff. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. This will be fielded at the 17. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're back up to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one a first down pickup of 8.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Coleman. Past the 20. 34 yards there and a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, the big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude.
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Duke Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Zerline now for the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
I can't believe they even let you play.
From the gun, here's Goff. And that is incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs, so a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done. Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. This is Coleman. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Now Johnson. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
When you're dead last in the NFL in third down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
21.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards to pick up there. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
From the 41, Garoppolo. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Clay Matthews make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowski to punt this one away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 19 carries, 110 yards in the score. From the 27, Goff.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Goff. And got a man. It's Woods. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. The Rams with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go, B. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Check.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
21.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And this is caught by Evans. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Garoppolo finding his tight end Kittle. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. On play action, now Garoppolo. He's going deep for Brown. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change or at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. The Rams on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Goff. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the 2nd quarter. From the 45 on 2nd down, Garoppolo got a man. It's Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He finds his target, it's Evans. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Check safety, check safety.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off.
Here we go. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And, you know, he may not have the franchise tag, but I bet they're relieved to have that deal done, keep him around.
And he's a good guy, a valuable player to them, and they wanted to make sure they had him around. Good team chemistry, always hard to find, and when you've got it, you don't want to let it get away.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and score. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Travion Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Todd Gurley and the Rams offense set to take over. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Goff now to throw. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Back to throw, Goff. And that one's complete to Gurley. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Johnny Hekker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now, if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
Garoppolo, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. He gets this one to Johnson. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now Garoppolo. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Garoppolo on the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers. So we reach halftime. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
Under 10, 10.
Garoppolo now. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Clay Matthews in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
To try again after the sack. Garoppolo. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for third down.
Let's go. 36, 36.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Garoppolo now, first down throw. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense. They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On second down, Johnson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
Come on, fellas.
That one a first down pickup of 8. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another first and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A.J. Brown. His second touchdown on the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown and teams that look like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
That time, a 9-play drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now gone. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that was a good run, and it should get the attention of the defense, but they can't just dwell on it. They've been playing so well this entire game. Maybe they just look at it and say, okay, congratulations, you got one on us, and just not let it turn into more.
2 yards, good enough for a first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs. And
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180! Exit, exit.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Johnson. He scored on the ground and through the air as his guys continue to pour it on.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Goff now looks to throw. He gets it to Gurley, complete. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now it's gone. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Goff now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Again, Goff. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Goff. And that will be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's going to get his play sheet. He can't find it either.
Yeah, big loss there on the pass completion. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5.
It's easy work.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that's knocked away and incomplete. That one broken up by David Long on the defensive end.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
They're not ready for this, man.
From the gun, here's Goff. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Goff now looking to throw. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Now Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete. This one winding toward a conclusion. And how would you assess how the secondary has played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down. What a throw right there for the 1st down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket, completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right. 4 down.
On 1st down, it's Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Here we go, here we go. Check 41. Your track. Check. Lucky.
12. Go ahead.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 15 for the Niners there and a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Check.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
That kid. Big hit.
But not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Garoppolo under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Clay Matthews has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good work after the catch. Going to net them 23 and a first. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. To throw is gone. Dumps it off to Gurley. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on 2nd down. Goff. And that one's complete to Gurley. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 39. Goff now to throw. They'll find Everett there, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To the air again, Goff. And he'll find his target, Woods. It's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. To throw again on 2nd down. Goff. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch 10, watch 10. Come on.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Here we go. 20.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
On 3rd down, Coleman. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Going deep downfield for Ross. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for San Francisco, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for L.A., their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.
Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew. So I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. Baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the errands just need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it